It's time to get serious about record keeping. Welcome to the video today. One of the things that I really let go around here in the past couple of years is just seed raising, commitment to seed raising, commitment to organic growing, heirloom growing, just for the challenge and the interest of the different kinds of varieties that I can actually get. At the moment, I'm using a lot of hybrids because A, there's less variability. B, I'm not seed collecting at the moment. But the more I thought about that and watching a lot of other videos by people who are posting on YouTube, I'm really inspired to get back into my seed saving action. So I sort of thought, how can I pass the time? It's a bit later in the season to be focusing on seed saving associated with summer crops. But what I thought is that I'd start looking at a couple of projects that I'm going to tell you about. You might have seen in a previous video that I've done, I have gathered seed from this packet of Yukina Savoy. This Yukina was actually from the Diggers Club from a long time ago. I have no idea when I bought them, but they were best before September 2017, and there's still plenty of seed in this packet. It's such a prodigious seed producer. Over here I've got a tin. I store a lot of seed in old angle grinder tins, and as you can see here, there's a large amount of seed still here from Yukina that I collected in 2017. I've given a lot of this seed away, and a lot of people have had real success with it, but what I want to do, I'm going to do a comparative test of the original Yukina seed, which I suspect I probably bought in about 2014, 2015, and this Yukina that was harvested in 2017. And I'm going to have a look and actually see how well those seed do when compared. You know, will seed this old be viable? It's going to be exciting to find out. So here we have the first trays done up. So the front right hand side, we have a Yukina Savoy seed from 2015. We have our Yukina seed that was collected here in the patch in 2017. We have some AB Black Beauty Zucchini. Now that seed is about 18 months old. I've had that, so that'll be interesting. The back left, basil, a sweet basil, a hybrid sweet basil as far as I'm aware. That seed is probably 2 years old. The Thai basil next to it, that seed I've owned for over 5 years, so we'll see how viable that is. Next to it is some Yomei Sai. I'm probably butchering that. It's a lettuce, often referred to as Asian lettuce or Chinese lettuce. That seed is a year old, but given it's lettuce seed, I'm not that confident, but we'll see how we go. And also next to it, just because I need some lettuce in the ground, is some gourmet lettuce mix from AB Seeds. That's brand new, so we'll see how that goes. I'm really looking forward to this experiment. Let's see how this Yukina goes. Now, I love it. The rest of my family doesn't love it, but I love it. And so we will see if I get a decent feed of Yukina. All right, the next tray of seeds is done. So you can see here that at the front, I've done 3 trays of just standard spring onion, white Lisbon, a hybrid onion. Here we have AB Seeds Jap pumpkin. If you happen to be watching from Japan, my apologies if that is in any way insulting. It's just unfortunately a name that has been attributed to that pumpkin in Australia. I think the other name for it, or it used to be called Kentish. It was a marketing strategy years and years ago, but there we are, sins of the past. Here we have AB Seeds Lebanese cucumbers are here, AB Seeds golden zucchini. We also have some of my old cream of Saskatchewan. Leave the corn alone. Sorry about that. Yeah, so they're my old cream of Saskatchewan seed. If you've never grown cream of Saskatchewan, I'm not quite sure what the term of it, but it's more of a juicing melon. It has a champagne-y sweet flavour. We use it in smoothies. It's really nice. And next to that is AB Space Master Cuke. So we will see how these go. They've got a bit of full sun. I am sort of MacGyvering ways to set up my seeds at the moment until I get back to rebuilding a hothouse here, a growing area, and that is, as I said, one of my major projects that I'm really working on soon. So we'll move on. Another 6 mils of rain in the rain gauge, so I'm really pleased about that. And you can sort of see that the growth in a lot of these tomatoes, these are determinate. They're sort of a bush tomato variety, and they're going really, really well. The Gros Liz over here are really starting to take off. It's quite amazing the difference in the growth between those three plants. If I step back a little bit, the one on the left is really, really taking off. Bit of protection here. Possums haven't been able to get in to the sweet potato. This one's really coming back after being ravaged the other day. But my 3 experimental tomatoes have taken a hammering from the possums just recently. So I might have to rethink that plan. Eggplant that's overwintered here has done really, really well. Plenty of fruit. You can sort of see here that a lot of fruit's coming in and maturing. Tons of flowers. Bit deceptive, a lot of jacaranda flowers coming off the jacaranda tree up here behind us. Sort of misleading with the amount of blossom. But this is a supreme hybrid plant. I'm a really strong advocate for this variety because we always do so well out of them. These are my best leek plants that I had, that I left for seed from last season. They are, I'm not entirely sure because I've grown organic Caratan and Musselburgh varieties, but these guys were beautiful plants in this bed, beautiful, nice, fleshy leeks. So these flowers aren't far from opening, and I'm really looking forward to harvesting this seed. My best chard plants here growing in tubs are getting close to forming some really nice seed heads for me. The camera's probably not picking this up, but this plant is just covered in hoverflies, which is really, really nice to see. Really looking forward to the seed from this plant. As I said, we've got great yields from it. It coped really well, and I think it really bodes well for crops going into the future. Another seedling tree's turned up in one of my garden beds that I'm going to be reshaping into something that's a bit more possum proof. Incidentally, chased the possum out of the veggie garden yesterday. I did notice this morning though that my Riesling vine seedling has taken a bit of a hammering, so he obviously made a comeback. Anyway, we're going to get this one out, get him into a pot with just some standard potting mix here, get him over to the other seedlings, and we'll see how we go with him. Again, no idea what this is going to be. Some sort of peach, nectarine, potentially almond, depending on our last discovery we had a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see how we go. Let's get him out. Get that out of the way. All right. Let's see if we can shift him. There we are. That didn't go too well. Just get a little bit of more of his native soil here. We'll top dress that with some potting mix, just lightly. Take that inside and then we'll have a look at him once he's been watered up. Okay, so another addition to our mystery tree collection. It'll be really exciting to find out what he's going to be. Won't know till we get fruit, or at least a little bit more form in the tree, but exciting nonetheless. In our corn variety experiment, we're already seeing considerable germination from the Miracle variety of corn, the American variety. Next door, the early extra sweet, there has been a couple of breakthroughs of corn, but it's much slower. in a germination rate. So in this experiment, we can see that miracle seems to be leading from the front. The proof of the pudding in all of these things, of course, is the eating at the end of it and the productivity, but definitely from the point of view of seed vigour, the miracle variety is leading the race. Getting our first real trusses of fruit on our volunteer tomato here. If you've seen any of the earlier videos that I've done, this tomato just turned up in this tub with some beetroot. There were Tommy Toe variety of tomatoes were growing next door. So I'm assuming, and I think reasonably, that this is a Tommy Toe plant. It's been very straggly, germinated during a winter of all things, and now it's just bursting into prolific growth. Always thrilled with volunteers appearing in the garden and producing something for you. First fruit here that's ripening off. Let's try that now. Oh, so sweet. Oh, you can't beat it. Absolutely beautiful. It's a big relief to see that this Sultana grapevine is actually making a comeback after it was completely stripped by possums as a young plant. You can sort of see over here the actual original stalk. It actually was considerably higher. A lot of it's broken off over the winter. We left it in just to see whether or not it would come good, and we've been keeping it under an old sort of laundry trolley cage frame to try and protect it. The goal is for it to grow over this pergola, which is going to have a few more pieces of wood put into it, over this table that we made, just so we can sit down the back and have a look at the chooks and sort of have a look at the back of the block here. So I'm really pleased with that. That is such great news.